I'm tired, girl, of running round this town.
My name's Claude Hendrickson. I see myself as an advocate, a voice of reason, a voice for the young people, a voice of experience, a voice of the history of Chapeltown. My mother came to England in 1958. I was born in 1960. My father left me and my mother when I was 2 years old, and it was a very hard start. This is the school that I went to at 5 years old. The names we were being called, being told to go back home, it was a very confusing time. My mother tried to explain to me that being born here in Britain, that I was entitled to everything that Britain had to offer. Even with all the racism that we were facing, by the time I was 15 years old, I'd been headhunted for an apprenticeship in motor mechanics. So my life was on track, I was going in the right direction. In 1975, the first generation of black young people came of age, and our number one problem was racism coming from police officers. This came to a head Bonfire Night 1975 when the young people of our area clashed directly with the police. And I was one of the young people that was arrested and sent to prison for assaulting a police officer. I was sentenced to Borstal on the 10th of July 1976, where I was sent to Armley prison at 16. All the way through this, my mentor, my guide, the person I could depend on was a man called Mr. Darkers Howe, who was from the Race Today magazine. He almost held my hand through that darkest period of my life. He was always there for me to ask questions, always there sending me letters. Was very instrumental in me surviving that period. On entry to Armley, I was given 2 books, the Bible and the other one was the autobiography of Malcolm X. Reading the autobiography of Malcolm X was a great eye-opener for me. It gave me the opportunity to see, even after being in prison, you could go out and make something of your life. After coming out of prison, I had a very negative attitude to life and to the world. I didn't think I would get another chance. And then I met a young careers officer called Paul Forbes, and he badgered me until I got a job. And that, I suppose, was a changing of my life. And then, out of the blue came the riots of 1981. And these riots were not riots against the police. People wanted better jobs, people wanted better opportunities, people wanted better housing. And out of that, they developed Heroes and Chapeltown Liaison Committee, which took on the council on a strategic level. They elected me as the representative for the young people of the community to negotiate with the local authority for opportunities for young people. And then came Section 11, which paid for and funded black people getting into better types of jobs, jobs in banking, jobs in the local authority, jobs in housing. Young people were given opportunities to become youth workers and go into social work. So there was a brand new opportunity that we fought for. I was inspired them times by key players in our community, people like Clinton Cameron, Ian Charles and Arthur Franz, Travis Johnson, that were all the men, remembering I didn't have my father, so these were the men I was trying to take positive things from. These were people that I could look up to. Opportunities just seemed to open for me. I then went on to get the funding to initiate Frontline Self-Build, which was a group of other young people who had had problems, had prison records, gave them the opportunity to build a way out of the system they were in. It gave an opportunity to build their own house. And it opened the door for me to set up the Chapeltown Young People's Club, to work with young people before they get in trouble, to let young people volunteer in their community and find out that there was more to being part of a community than just becoming a victim of bad education, a victim of bad employment opportunities, a victim of racist police. There was an opportunity here to have an input and change your life. I've done many projects since then in partnership with the Leeds City Council, in partnership with colleges, in partnership with voluntary sector organisations. If you're a young person that has been in trouble now, you've got to think, what do I bring to the world? How can I be positive? We all make mistakes. We all have a learning curve to go through. It's about what we do with the learning. No matter what background you come from, you can have a positive contribution to your community. It is about you. It's not about what's past. You can change the future.
No black girl, still the rich I get richer. As a poor man, I can't get no poorer, but I get